Hello, good morning, student. Today we are going to start or we are going to discuss the remaining structure effect. So far we have discussed two structural effects. One is a inductive effect and second one is a resonance effect. Now today, as we know that we are learning or we are discussing the first chapter. The name of our first chapter is chapter number first, fundamentals of organic chemistry, right? Fundamentals of organic chemistry now is a third important effect we are going to learn, that is a hyperconjugative effect. Hyperconjugative effect. So this is the third one. As we know that there are the six structural effects which influence the reactivity of the organic molecules. So this is a hyperconjugative effect. What do you mean by the hyperconjugative effect? It is a modification of the resonance effect and modification of the resonance effect, but this hyperconjugative effect operating via sigma bond, that is the difference between the resonance effect and the hyperconjugative effect. Whatever rules applied for resonance effect, all those rules we are going to follow in case of the hyperconjugative structure. Now let us look at here some of the example. What is hyperconjugative effect? Explain with a suitable example. Now I am going to take here some of the suitable example, and from that you can know the clear understanding of that hyperconjugative effect. Just now we have seen as a definition of the hyperconjugative effect. It is a very simple. Hyperconjugative effect means it is a modification of the resonance effect, but it is operating via sigma bond. It is a and therefore now let us look at some of the example here. For example, suppose we have some alkyl group, suppose CS3, then CS3, this one. As we know that this group is a tertiary butyl group, right? Tertiary butyl group. Next one, let us see here, CS3, then CS3. This is a isopropyl group. We can call it as isopropyl group. And then next one, let us see CS3, CH2. What is this? This is a ethyl group. And now next one, let us see CS3 only methyl group, we can call it as a methyl group. These are the three groups are there. If you look at here, the tertiary butyl or the order or the magnitude of the inductive effect. In a tertiary butyl there are the three electron donating groups are there, and therefore, or if you talk about the carbocations are there, so it will be as a greater magnitude than this one, the magnitude, what we can call it as a inductive effect, goes on increasing like this. Tertiary butyl has a highest what we can call it as a high inductive effect, whereas this one is because there are the two methyl groups are there, magnitude is less in this case. Methyl again as compared to this one, this becomes as a lesser and this is a lowest one. If but these groups attached to the alkene, means carbon carbon double bond, then what is happening, this hyperconjugative effect also influence the reactivity of the organic molecule. Let us see how it affecting the reactivity of the organic molecule. I am going to attach here the olefinic group here. Let us see here CS3, then CS3, then CS3. This I am going to attach with CH double bond CH2. I am attaching as a alkene group CH double bond CH2 to this group. So what is happening there, that we are going to learn here. CS3, then CH, CS3, then CH double bond CH2, right? Then ethyl group, then CS3, CH, CH2, attach CH double bond CH2, and last one CS3 methyl group further attached to double bond CH2 alkene. What I did here, I have attached the alkene group in every above structure. Only join are connected the CH double bond CH2. Look at here, these are the structure. Now what is happening? Which one is the more reactive one? Now in a hyperconjugative effect, and hyperconjugative effect is a possible when there is a alpha hydrogen atoms are there. If there is a no alpha hydrogen atom, no hyperconjugative effect. In general, you remember, if the hyperconjugative structure goes on increasing, the stability of that molecule goes on increasing. How to identify whether there is a alpha hydrogen atom is a present or not? Look at here, this is the olefinic part, right? This one is the olefinic part, and that olefinic further attached to the adjacent carbon, that you have to remember, that is alpha hydrogen atom. This is a alpha hydrogen atom, and this is the olefinic group, and this adjacent carbon atom is termed as alpha. And now look at, this is again olefinic group, and this carbon atom is known as a alpha carbon, and whatever hydrogen atom attached to that carbon atom is known as alpha hydrogen atom. This is the olefinic group, and this is the alpha hydrogen atom. What I just now said, I said that if the alpha hydrogen increases, the number of hyperconjugative structure goes on increasing. Hence, if the number of hyperconjugative structure goes on increasing, the stability of that molecule goes on increasing. That is the thing here. Now look at here. Here no alpha hydrogen atom. No alpha hydrogen atom. Therefore, there is a no hyperconjugative structure here. Here look at here, one alpha hydrogen atoms are there, and therefore only one alpha hydrogen atom we can get as a one hyperconjugative structure. Here look at this, there are the two alpha hydrogen atoms are there. How many structures are possible here? Here again as a two hyperconjugative structure. Understood this one? Now look at here, there are the three alpha hydrogen atoms are there, and therefore this one is the most reactive alkene among these. While studying as a elimination reaction, Sejep's rule, and at that time why the more substituted alkene form as a major product, that time you have that is nothing but as a hyperconjugative effect due to the hyperconjugative. What is the reactivity order found in this case? Now there are the three alpha hydrogen atom, therefore it is the most stable one. This one, then this one. This is the least one. How to draw the hyperconjugative structure? Let us draw the hyperconjugative structure of this methylene group. I am taking as a one of the examples, suitable example here, methylene. For writing as a hyperconjugative structure, you must draw the structure like this, and here one of the hydrogen atom, carbon atom here, one hydrogen atom here, another hydrogen atom there, and then CH double bond CH2, right? Now it is a modification of the resonance effect, therefore you must show the double headed arrow while showing the hyperconjugative structure. Now what is happening, this sigma bond shifted from here to here, forming as a double bond, and this double bond concentrate the electron density on this carbon atom, and therefore what do you get here? H, then C, hydrogen atom, and this hydrogen atom positive charge over there. What I did here, I broken the bond, sigma bond here, and forming as a pi bond here. Here is a double bond, then CH, then CH2 minus charge, right? Here now this hydrogen atom is not gone anywhere, it remains in the close vicinity. Close vicinity means what? It presence there only, it is not going away from that carbon atom, so it remains there. Now another structure we can draw here. Let us see. Now I am breaking as a bond between these, so that we can write here, see, now H, then H, double bond CH, then CH2 minus charge. Now I am putting as a positive charge here now. So here again etc means etc. So in this way we can draw the resonating, we can draw the hyperconjugative structure. If the number of hyperconjugative structure goes on increasing, stability of the compound goes on increasing, that you have to remember. Now let us look at as another one, another example of hyperconjugative structure, how to draw there. And similarly, how many structures are present? Our hyperconjugative structure, to count the hyperconjugative structure, it is depending upon the number of alpha hydrogen atom. If only one alpha hydrogen atoms are present, then and then we can get as only one structure. Two alpha hydrogen, you will get as a two structure. If three structures are there, you will get as a three structure, likewise. And now let us look at as a one of the another example here. I am taking here another example. You know that this one C, then H, H and H. I am purposely writing as a this type of the structure. As we know that it is a hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbon, as we know that, made by carbon, and the hydrogen is known as a hydrocarbon. And the name, do you know the name of this compound? The name of this compound is a common name. It is known by its common name, and the common name of this compound is a toluene, right? Toluene. This is a common name of this compound. Now look at here. Hyperconjugative structure means what? The carbon-carbon double bond and adjacent bond. Look at here, carbon-carbon double bond, and this is a adjacent carbon atom. Therefore, it is a alpha hydrogen atom. In alpha hydrogen atom, look at 1, 2, 3 alpha hydrogen atoms are there, and therefore we can draw the hyperconjugative structure in this case. Now I am this sigma bond, I am breaking as a bond between this hydrogen atom and this carbon atom. When sigma bond is broken, forming as a double bond here. Now this double bond concentrate the electron density at this corner point, and we are going to get the product here like this, double bond C, H, H, and this hydrogen atom put the positive charge on it. Here double bond as it is, this double bond as it is, and there is a minus charge are there. Now look at, this is a hyperconjugative structure. Another structure we can come. Now this negative charge, what is going to happen here? This negative charge forming as a double bond here, and this double bond concentrate the electron density at this corner point, and we are going to get the another structure. What are the changes I made here? Double bond, negative charge here, double bond, then double bond CH, here H, and positive charge are there. And then again we can draw this negative charge coming here, then this double bond concentrate the electron density over there, and you are going to get the structure further. Here double bond, negative charge here, double bond CH, this hydrogen as it is, the positive charge, and this double bond remains as it is. So etc etc means there are the nine hyperconjugative structures is you can draw for toluene, because there are the three alpha hydrogen atoms are there. One alpha hydrogen atom, look at 1 2 3 4, then 5 structure, 5 of each, 5 into 5, so 15 structure you may get for toluene, that is a hyperconjugative structure. Now the number of hyperconjugative structure goes on increasing, the stability of that molecule goes on increasing, right? Now let us see one of the example to understand whether you understand the hyperconjugative concept or not. Let me check. Now let us see one of the example here. Suppose we have this one, CS3, then CH double bond 1 2 sorry, here double bond CH, then let us see here CS3, another one CH3, then CH double bond CH and the CH3. Let us see, there are the two examples are there. This is a structure number first, this is a structure number second. Now tell me which compound is a more stable one. In an elimination reaction or in a Sage's rule you might have studied that one. Look at here, carbon carbon double bond, just you have to identify the number of alpha hydrogen atom and how to recognize or how to identify that alpha hydrogen atom. Always remember C double bond CH, this is the olefinic part, and this olefinic part you adjacent carbon atom you find out. Look at, this is the olefinic part, this is alpha hydrogen atom means adjacent carbon atom, and whatever adjacent carbon atom carries 3 hydrogen atom here. Here how many? This is also as a alpha carbon atom, and this alpha carbon atom also carries as a 3 hydrogen atom. Look at, this is also as a alpha hydrogen atom, and that also carry the 3 hydrogen. Total how many are there? 9 alpha hydrogen atoms are there. So 9 hyperconjugative structures are possible. And now here look at here, this is the olefinic part, right? Carbon carbon double bond, we can call it as alkene or you can call it as olefin. Now there is a adjacent carbon atom, here also as a, how many are there? 6 alpha hydrogen atoms are there. Which one is a more stable? Whether the first compound is a more stable or second one, you can easily find out. Number of alpha hydrogen is a greater here, and therefore it is a more stable as compared to the this one. Now let us look at as another example here. Let us see here CS3, then CH2, CH double bond CH2, and let us see another one, CS3, then CH3 double bond and CH2. Now look at, there are the two isomer I have drawn here. Isomer means having as the same molecular formula but different structures are there, that is called as the isomer. But this is a chain, isomers are there, this is the longest chain, that is the branched chains are there. Now look at there. Now tell me which compound, whether the first structure is a more stable or second structure is a more stable. So for knowing that one, what you have to remember, you must remember, you first find out the alpha hydrogen atom here. Look at, this is a olefinic part, you can circle it. The adjacent carbon atom, this is the alpha, beta, gamma, we don't require as a other carbon atom, only alpha carbon atoms are there, and alpha atom carbon containing two hydrogen atom, or it carries two hydrogen atom, therefore there are two alpha hydrogen atoms are there. Now look at, this is a olefinic part or carbon carbon double bond, and there is a adjacent carbon atom, you can term as alpha, this is also as alpha. Now look at here, how many alpha hydrogen atoms are there? There are 6 alpha hydrogen atoms are there. Alpha hydrogen atom 6 structures are possible, and therefore this one is a more stable as compared to as a this one. Understood this one? Now you, if you remember, as a Sage's rule means what? In an elimination reaction, more substituted formation of a alkene is obtained as a major product. If you look at, this is alkene, they on one side only substituents are present, and here 1 and 2 it is a disubstituted, and therefore according to as a Sage's rule, this one is the most stable, and that is the experimental proof or the evidence why the more substitutable alkene is a major product. So this is a third effect just now we have seen. Now fourth structural effect, because how many structural effect we are going to learn? We are going to learn, there are the 6 structure I already told in the previous lecture. Now let me recall that one. First one is a inductive effect, second one is a resonance effect, third one is a hyperconjugative effect, fourth one is a steric effect, fifth one is a tautomerism, and sixth one is a hydrogen bonding. And now let us move on to the next structural effect. Structural effect means that is the electronic displacement, how they are affecting the reactivity of the organic compound. That thing we are mainly discussing in this chapter. Now fourth one is the steric effect, right? Steric effect, that is the third structural effect. Now steric effect, what do you mean by the steric effect, or what is the statement of the steric effect, or the definition of the steric effect? Steric effect, it is a physical interaction between the atom or group in a space is known as a steric effect, and this steric effect plays as a vital role in deciding the reactivity of the organic molecule. And when the steric effects are there, now let us look at as a one of the example here. Very simplest, what is steric effect? Explain with suitable example. That time you remember only as a one example, that is sufficient enough to understand the concept of steric effect. There is no need to study lot for here. If you pay the attention from the beginning, you will be very well, or you can understand the basic concept of the organic chemistry, and that organic chemistry then it will generate the interest among you. So let us see here what is a steric effect. Just now we have defined steric effect is due to the physical interaction between the atom or the group is known as a steric effect, and that steric effect influencing, and when that two groups, the two groups are pushing from each other, and that's why the effect that will effect that we can call it as a lot of steric interactions are there, inhibitions of resonance takes place there. And now let us look at as one of the example. For example, suppose as a I think NN dimethyl aniline is a weaker base as compared to as a 2,6 dimethyl NN dimethyl aniline. Explain like that. Likewise, question may appear. The question may appear on this topic in a two way. What is steric effect? Explain. Let me just tell you what is steric effect. What is steric effect? Explain it with with suitable example. Suitable example, or other way round, what is steric effect? Explain it with the suitable example, or what is that? Or 2 6 not 2 6. Suppose let us see here, n dimethyl aniline is weaker base than 2 6 dimethyl n dimethyl aniline, right? Now explain. So two ways questions may appear in your exam. So remember now here, n dimethyl aniline, everybody knows the structure of the aniline. Now this is a structure of aniline, right? This is the structure of benzene. Now nitrogen, there are two hydrogen atom, both the two hydrogen atom get replaced by the methyl group, and that's why it is called as the n dimethyl aniline here. And as we know that those, in general, you remember one guideline is there, those organic compound containing as a nitrogen atom are basic in nature because they are containing as a lone pair according to as a Lewis base. The lone pair are easily available for the donation, and therefore it is tossed. Now look at here, these lone pairs easily come down here and delocalize resonating structure we can draw here. Now double bond N, then CS3 positive charge comes here, negative charge, this double bond and this double bond is TC, you can call it. And now let us look at another structure which is here N CS3, then CS3, here methyl group, here another methyl group, and these methyl group they are present at ortho position, they creating as a lot of steric interactions are there, and therefore this is known as a 2 6 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. At 2 and 6 position there is a methyl groups are present, and therefore it is called as a 2 6 dimethyl then n dimethyl aniline. That is the structure of this. Now remember here at ortho position there are the two, just like as two bodyguards are there, and what these two bodyguards do here, they are not allowing lone pair to come down here, and they due to that methyl group they are trying to push to each other, and therefore there is no sufficient space to stay that molecule, and when they are trying to stay at ortho position, what is happening, the rotation occurs between that carbon and nitrogen get rotated here, and when they get rotated, the lone pair and the orbital of that p orbital that becomes as a perpendicular to each other, and therefore here is a planarity loss, and if the planarity loss, we cannot draw the resonating structure, and therefore there is a resonance inhibition takes place here or prohibited here, this lone pair, and these lone pair are readily available for the donation to pick up the proton, and therefore this compound is a 40,000 stronger base as compared to this one, because here lone pair they are parallel with that orbital of p orbital, and therefore as we know that the third condition, the orbital having as the same energy, shape and the size, and therefore there is a resonating structures are possible, and for resonate these lone pair involved in the delocalization, it is not available for donation, and therefore this is the weaker base and this is a strongest base, this is a weak base. In this way, I think we have covered as a fourth application of the this one steric effect. Let us stop today here. Have a nice day. Thank you.